Présentation ce samedi de l'UFC 323 en direct de Las Vegas en demi-finale championnat des poids mouches masculins. Alessandro Pantoja tentera de défendre sa ceinture pour la 5e fois contre notre invité Joshua Van. Joshua, merci énormément de prendre le temps. Comment ça va?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great.
Ready for this huge event, biggest fight of your career, of course.
Yes, sir. Very excited, man. Very excited for this fight. So, yes, ready.
Before we dive more into what will happen in a few days, I'd like to go back in the past, if you allow me. I just want to know uh, how would you describe the last 12 months for Joshua Van? It's been crazy, right?
Mhm. Well, yeah. You said the last 12 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just back-to-back fightings and things like that. So, you know what I mean? Life has been great, man. Yes, sir.
What are you the most proud of in the last year or so?
Last year, what I'm most proud of was my Bruno Silva fight, just because of how clean I, beat him and things like that. And that was always the goal to prove to my coaches that, what I've been working on is working and things like that. And then of course the Roy fight. You know what I mean? That's the one that put me in this position. So I'm very, very proud of those two fights.
When did you realize? Because you've been so active for a period of time, uh,
Mhm.
but you've been away for like 5 months now. So I guess you must have time to reflect on what was happening. When did you realize that you had done enough just to earn a title shot with all the activity and all the wins you earned in the last year?
Well, I knew I earned the title fight as soon as I finished fighting with Roy. So you know what I mean? I knew what I did and what I earned and things like that. So you know what I mean? But when they sent me the contract, like the real contract to actually for the fight, that's when I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually fighting for Pantoja, you know what I mean? I was like, this actually happening. And then, 2 days later, man, I'm back to gym and back to normal life.
The fight against Royval was crazy. I just looked on the topology and it's still, according to fans, the best fight of the year
Yes,
so
sir.
far. So if you win that title, the fight of the year title, what would it mean to you? And just what did that fight mean to you? Just right away, just to be part of something special like that, just back and forth war like that.
When I win the title, man, it'll mean everything for me. You know what I mean? Just represent the whole country and just letting the world know what Myanmar is. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
I'm just ready to represent my country, my family, my faith inside that case. So I can't wait for December 6th.
After three fight in 4 months. At the beginning of the year, you had a few months now to, I don't know, rest, train, and be prepared for the title fight. So how important was it just to have a few months off and be able to reset? Because I guess injuries happen when you train that hard and fight that often.
Yeah, I actually took 2 months off after Royval fight. I mean, I still go to the gym a little here and there, but like I wasn't training as much as I would do. And you know what I mean? I was enjoying a little too much of, outside of life and things like that. My coaches have to be like, "Hey, Josh, time to come back, lock in." And we came back. We came back.
Did you do something special for this camp, knowing that you're facing one of the greatest champion in the sport?
Well, I just do regular shit that I always do. You know what I mean? I just add more around. But we stick to the game. We stick to the same routine that we always do. You know what I mean? If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Obviously, you saw what he did his last fight against Cara France. You were there. You faced him off right after, so he was very impressive. He's won eight in a row, fifth title defense. So obviously, he is favorite to win this fight. But what's your mindset going in against Alexandre Pantoja?
either mindset is to win the title, right, and take that title away from him. But he's a great champion, man. I'm just honored to be in the cage with him. You know what I mean? So I'm just very, very excited to share the octagon with him. And, I get to say I'm in the cage with one of the legend in our division, you know what I mean? So it's just that is a blessing already, you know what I mean? So come December 6th, we just gonna find out who's the better man that night and, take the title from him.
What will be the key, you think?
The key is to knock him out inside 3 rounds.
Are you prepared for his ground game? It's one of his strengths. So obviously, I guess you said you didn't change a lot of things in camp, but was there an emphasis on grappling this time around?
Yeah, I mean we don't do like we only gonna focus on the grapplings and things like that, you know what I mean? I just go to my own schedule. Like I always do. I go to boxing, I go to strength conditioning, and then I go to MMA gyms, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like a heavy grappling and things like that. But we like I said, man, I believe in my team, you know what I mean? So it's like we did work on his game plans and everything, but it wasn't like, oh, he's very good on this, so we got to focus on this. So we focus on what I'm good at, you know what I mean? So he got to focus on what I'm good at too. So yeah.
Do you realize that what you're doing is really remarkable? Only 24 years old. That would, if you win, that would make you one of the youngest champion in the history of the UFC. And I was just comparing your resume with Pantoja. He's a pro since 2007. It took him
Mm.
10 years just to get to the UFC, and another
Hmm.
6 years to earn a title shot. The fact that you've been a pro for like 5 years, about 5 years, and already in that position. Uh, are you? How does that make you feel? Just to know that you're just the fact that it's very, very rapid ascension.
Yeah. Well, how active was he in those 10 years to get to the UFC, you know what I mean? And how active was he to get to the title? That's the real question, you know what I mean? So I said me, I'm only in the fighting scenes for little amount of time, but I was active, you know what I mean? So I was always learning and things like that. So uh people talking about experience and things like that, but just because you're in the UFC for 10 years doesn't mean you got more experience than me because you know what I mean? Like how many fight he have in the UFC?
I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but
see,
yeah,
probably like we
probably
probably
less
have the
active
same
than you, man.
amount, you know what I mean? He probably have more, but like, you know what I mean? Like I'm catching up to him, things like that. So before the UFC and then after the UFC and things like that. So I'm just looking at this like how active you are in the, you know what I mean, the process of doing like in your career, things like that. So yeah.
So, do you plan to stay this active going forward with the
Yes.
belt?
Yes. I'll stay active.
Looking forward to this fight, Joshua Van. Thank you very much, sir. I'll let you go, and can't wait to see this fight title shot against Alexandre Pantoja. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Joshua Van en sera à son 5e combat en 12 mois. Je lui ai demandé comment il décrirait la dernière année. Il dit très occupé, combat après combat. Mais c'est ce que j'aime et c'est ce qui m'a permis d'être dans la position dans laquelle je suis aujourd'hui, c'est-à-dire aspirant numéro 1 et obtenir une chance en combat de championnat. Complètement fou donc cette dernière année. Fier de ses performances également au cours des derniers mois. Fier surtout de son combat contre Bruno Silva début juin dernier, une victoire convaincante, presque parfaite. Et 3 semaines plus tard, enchaîné euh, avec une guerre contre Brendan Royval, combat qui sera fort probablement sacré combat de l'année 2025, combat qu'il a remporté également, mais très serré. Donc il dit, ce 3 semaines-là, là, Silva, très convaincant contre Silva, et remporter une guerre contre Brendan Royval qui m'a placé comme aspirant numéro 1, c'est vraiment quelque chose qui me rend très fier. Je savais, après avoir battu Brendan Royval, que j'étais le prochain en liste pour la ceinture. Il y a même eu face à face, si vous vous rappelez bien, à l'UFC 317 entre Pantoja et Van. Pantoja qui était également sur cette carte-là contre Cara France. C'est une opportunité en or, bien sûr, pour le jeune Joshua Van. Il veut surtout mettre son pays, la Birmanie, sur la map, veut représenter son peuple ce samedi dans la cage. Se bat très, très, très souvent, mais il y a quand même eu une pause de 5 mois. Là. Il ne s'est pas battu depuis sa guerre contre Rival en juin, donc 5 mois de pause. Ça a fait du bien, guérir les petits bobos. Il a dit, j'ai peut-être un peu trop profité. Là. 2 mois, je me suis presque pas entraîné. Pendant presque 2 mois, il s'est presque pas entraîné. C'est ses entraîneurs qui l'ont appelé et qui ont dit, OK, ce serait le temps que tu commences à revenir. Là. On va peut-être se battre bientôt contre Alessandro Pantoja. Donc ça a été un petit peu difficile de reprendre le collier, mais là, ça fait un certain temps qu'il est en entraînement et il juge que ça va bien. Un camp comme les précédents, il n'a rien fait de particulier pour se préparer contre Pantoja. Il dit, je travaille sur mes forces. Je ne travaille pas sur les forces de mon adversaire. Oui, je sais qu'il est très fort au sol, mais moi, je suis très fort dans d'autres domaines et je veux m'imposer, donc c'est là-dessus que je travaille. Euh, Bien sûr, il dit, faut pas réparer ce qui n'est pas brisé. Donc, ça l'a bien servi, ces techniques-là. Il fait confiance à son équipe. Il y a un bon plan de match d'établi. Donc, confiant qu'il peut tirer son épingle du jeu, même s'il sait que ce ne sera pas facile. Il est honoré de partager la cage avec Pantoja, un des plus grands champions à 125 livres dans l'histoire de l'UFC. Déjà sa 5e défense de titre. Mais il dit, on va voir qui sera le meilleur samedi et j'ai confiance que ce sera moi. Je lui ai parlé également de son ascension fulgurante. Il est pro en arts martiaux mixtes depuis 4 ans seulement. Début pro en 2021. Et déjà, il se retrouve en combat de championnat à l'UFC. En comparaison, ça a pris 16 ans de carrière à son adversaire, Pantoja, pour se retrouver dans la même position. Il dit, regardez, oui, c'est sûr que Pantoja a plus d'expérience que moi. Oui, c'est sûr que j'ai une belle ascension, mais je ne suis pas non plus vert, je ne suis pas non plus inexpérimenté parce que je me suis énormément battu, j'ai été très actif. Et il a raison. En 4 ans de carrière, 17 combats, c'est une moyenne de 4, un peu plus que 4 par année. Donc, c'est vrai qu'il n'y a pas beaucoup d'années de combattant, mais quand même beaucoup de combats et c'est déjà son 10e à l'UFC. Première chance en championnat pour lui. Donc, il n'a pas nécessairement volé non plus. Et il n'estime pas que la différence d'expérience aura un énorme impact ce samedi dans l'octogone. Quand même, 35 ans contre 24, le jeune loup contre le vieux routier. Ça va être intriguant, cette demi-finale de l'UFC 323. Alessandro Pantoja contre Joshua Van. Et bien sûr, en finale, Pietarian contre le champion Merab Dvalishvili. C'est présenté sur nos ondes. Carte préliminaire de l'UFC 323, samedi 20h sur les ondes de TVA Sports 2. Et la carte principale, incluant les 2 duels de championnat, dès 22h à la télé à la carte sur Indigo.